Hello everyone, it's another early-ish start, not quite as early as some of our other videos, but yeah, still quite early for Saturday. Today we are off to Ali Pali, also known as Alexandra Palace, where my wife and I, Patsy, we are going to the classic and sports car show, which is quite exciting. I've never been to Alexandra Palace, have you?
Yes.
Yeah, oh, okay, fair enough. I've never been, neither of us have been to this show either. So I'm looking forward to it. They're going to have obviously lots of lovely classic cars there. They're also going to be I can't even get my words out this morning, it's that early. They're also going to be restoring a Jaguar XJ120 live, which I'm really looking forward to seeing. It's a really special one. It's a one-off. It was designed by Pininfarina, who you may know as one of the companies, well, the main company really, that designs Ferraris, so that's quite special. I'm pretty sure they're going to have a McLaren F1 there as well, which is quite exciting because you may not believe it, I've never seen one in the flesh, so that's something I'm looking forward to as well. But yeah, we're going to hit the road, but yeah, see you there. And here we are at Alexandra Palace. It was actually quite a quick journey, which was quite good from South London, so that's always a good thing. Right, and we're going to get in, we're going to get our press tickets and have a look around. So I've arrived, got my press pass. My press pass is right there, looking pretty good. And the live music is already in full swing, which is pretty impressive because it's not even 10 o'clock yet, so that's pretty good. Very nice. Right, let's look at some cars, shall we? So this is the car I spoke about earlier, the Jaguar XJ120. Oh, that's rather loud. It's kind of annoying. Never mind. Let me move away from that. So this is the Jaguar XJ120. This is going to be restored live over the weekend. As you can see, we've got quite a bit of work to do. This was a one-off. This was designed by Pininfarina, who you may know designed a lot of Ferraris. So this is a complete one-off. This was made for an American importer, and as you can see, it's in a very I've gone Dutch. It's in a very sorry state. There we are. So this is going to be restored over the weekend, and obviously the finished result will be quite something. Right in the middle of the auction room now, and there's lots of very pretty, classic, and of course expensive cars here. So I'm literally stood right in front of a DB5. Let me turn the camera around. Hoping you saw that because I couldn't see what I was filming then. But yes, let's have a closer look around, shall we? Now here's a better shot of the DB5 in case my last one wasn't very good. Let's have a walk around. Very nice indeed, one of my favourite cars, the DB5. It's absolutely wonderful. And over here we've got another one of my favourite cars, the Jaguar EType. Just simply wonderful. It's so great to have two wonderful cars parked next to each other. Now I'm not saying anything because I've just taken in the sheer beauty. Now I see E-types relatively often, but even so, every time I do come across one, I just want to really take in its beauty. It really is one of the best looking cars ever made. Who cannot fall in love with that shape and those curves? If you do not like the look of the E-type, then I'm sorry, you're not a car fan and you have no soul. End of. Here comes the noise.
It updated the company's glass fibre CV8 by using a svelte Italian-style GT body. So the next car up, ladies and gentlemen, is Brian Raffle.
Here you've got an old Chevrolet Corvette. Wow, that really is a striking piece of design, and it's just quite vast. I'm going to walk to the front, which might take me some time. Probably going to cross 2 postcodes to do so. Quite an interesting colour as well, like a sort of light custard sort of colour. Let's have a look at the badge. Now I'm going to have to go quite far back to get pretty much all of it in shot. There we are. It's really nice. Lots of chrome on the front, as you would expect from a car from this era. Chrome, 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 just chrome everywhere. Chrome, 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 chrome. But it does look absolutely fantastic. Really good looking car. And these tail lights, look at these tail lights, how they're so thin and long. They do look pretty good indeed. Now this is an area of the show that I've really been looking forward to, and I've only just stumbled upon it. And this is a century of supercars. So you've got different decades. So we start here with 1950s, bizarrely. Obviously it's not the first one, but it's a decade that I've stumbled upon first with a Mercedes-Benz 300 SL with, of course, the iconic gull wing doors, and it looks absolutely superb. Just look at these lines across here. A real classic, elegant, timeless design that looks rather marvellous, to say the least. Over here we move to the 1930s, so we've gone back in time, so to speak, with the Alfa Romeo 8C. Not the new one, of course, the older model. And again, wonderful design, really nice. Pretty much everything in this sort of burgundy / wine colour, really looking quite superb indeed. Let's have a look at the stats. So 188 of these were produced. The engine is a 2,336 cc. Horsepower is only 178, and 0 to 60 is a bit of a pedestrian 8.5 seconds. Top speed 115 miles per hour. But don't forget, this was for 1930, so obviously cars back then were quite a bit slower. Right, so what's next? Now we're going forward in time now to the 1960s, if I can get there. Sorry. Ouch, that would be my fault, but never mind. And we have the Lamborghini Miura. Absolutely fantastic. In my eyes, the first proper supercar. Absolutely fantastic. So, it's got a 4-litre V12 engine, which produces 350 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 6 seconds, and a top speed of 171 miles per hour, which is pretty brisk for the 60s. I'm sure you'll agree. Styled by Bertoni, as you can see down here, in this rather bold green colour. It's almost like a pea green, but I suppose it's a little bit lighter than that sort of colour, and it just looks absolutely wonderful. When you think of classic supercars, this is the first car that springs into my mind. Well, one of the first cars anyway. The Lamborghini Miura, absolutely marvellous, and it's so low, so low. It comes up to about my waist, so that gives you an idea of how low it is. We move on to another Lamborghini, the Lamborghini Countach. I have to be careful how you say that. Now this one doesn't have a spoiler, which, well, that was smooth. Now this one doesn't have a spoiler. Now I prefer the Countach with a spoiler, but that's personal preference. So this is from the 1970s, and it's got this really sort of striking design. It's almost like just a massive wedge, but I quite like it. So power in this one is also a 4-litre V12 engine, horsepower of 375 brake horsepower, 0 to 60 in 5.6 seconds, and onto a top speed of 175 miles per hour. And I'm reading that from there, by the way, so if they're slightly wrong, don't shoot me, I'm just reading what's here. But again, another flamboyant and bold design from the Italians, Lamborghini. Just look at that, just absolutely wonderful. Now I had a model of these when I was a kid. I think I had, so the model I had a spoiler on it. I think it was either white or red. I can't remember what colour it was. I'm ashamed to say. I think it was red actually. So I think it would have been in this kind of red. So that's really nice. Now over here, we really have got some special cars. To my left, we have Ferrari F40. Now, believe it or not, this is the first time I've seen one of these in real life, and it just looks epic. It really, really does. Just that rear wing on the back, that is just massive, with the F40 logo there, and it just looks absolutely wonderful. Again, when you think of classic supercars, I know this one isn't quite as old as some of the others, but again, when you think of classic supercars, the Ferrari F40 is certainly one of the ones that comes to mind. Let's have a quick look around here, have a look at the old technical data. So in here we have a twin turbo V8 which produces 478 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, and a top speed of 202 miles per hour. In the 80s, 202. I'm sure you'll agree that is quite a lot of oomph. And even more oomph to my right, because we have the legend that is the Bugatti Veyron. One of the fastest cars in the world, and I would say one of the fastest cars money can buy, but who can really afford a Veyron? I don't know, you'd have to be rather rich to afford one of these, but again, just get a shot of the engine bay, got to lean over, there we go. Now, the stats for this car are simply boggling, absolutely boggling. How they made this car will never cease to amaze me. So let's have a quick look at the stats. Move away. So we have a W16 engine, which is 8 litres no less, 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds, just 2.9 seconds, and of course the infamous top speed of 253 miles per hour, making it one of the fastest cars in the world, and it just looks absolutely fantastic. And next to it is another car that once held the title for one of the fastest cars in the world, and was actually voted by this event as the greatest supercar ever. It is of course the McLaren F1. It needs absolutely no introductions whatsoever, and again, believe it or not, this is also a car I've seen in the flesh for the first time, so this is rather exciting for me. Let's have a look at the stats. So obviously designed by Gordon Murray, infamously. It has the 3-seat layout, which again is quite unique. The engine bay is not open, but let's come round to the back. The engine bay is lined with gold, which is just epic in itself, but not quite as epic as the performance figures, which are. So let me scoot round here. So under the bonnet, well, I should say in the back, V12 engine, which is 6,064 cubic capacity, 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds, and a top speed of 240 miles per hour. And just look at it. This really is a true motoring icon, and it looks absolutely fantastic even to this day. Now, speaking of McLaren, let's go over here to something a little bit more recent in the form of the McLaren P1, of course, which is different to the other supercars here because it's a hybrid. So it has an additional engine and it uses electric power as well, and this is very futuristic, and it just looks absolutely great. Let me take a step back And this paintwork looks really nice. It glitters really well. It really does look fantastic. Just carbon fibre everywhere, on the door mirrors, around the window, down here, just carbon fibre everything. It looks absolutely fantastic. So let's have a quick look at the technical specification, shall we? So 375 produced. It produces 904 horsepower, 0 to 60 in just 2.7 seconds. So it's pretty brisk, and it will go to a top speed of 218 miles per hour. So powering it is a V8 engine, a 3.8 V8 plus an electrical motor. So as I mentioned earlier, this is a hybrid, and this is very much a future supercar. Well, I say supercar, it's more of a hypercar, because it's parked up. The spoiler is not up, it's down at the moment, but as you can see in the picture, the rear wing does come up, and it just looks absolutely fantastic. Right, what's next? And we finish with the 1940s and from 1914 to 1929. So I'll admit the dates, I've sort of gone around in the wrong order, but whatever. So this is the Jaguar XJ120, which, now I mentioned earlier that the Miura is sort of deemed as the first ever supercar, but other people would deem this car as the first ever supercar. For me, as I mentioned earlier, I feel it's the Miura, but other people think the Jaguar XJ120 was the first supercar. So let's have a look at the stats, shall we? So it produces just 160 horsepower from a 3.2 litre engine, 0 to 60, 10 seconds, so it's a bit slow. Top speed of 125 miles per hour, but who cares if it's a little bit slow? It looks wonderful. Look how majestic and elegant it looks. Just wonderful, really nice. Leather seats, two-tone, really nice look. And that's just the sort of style which can't really be replicated nowadays. It's just simply marvellous. And last but not least, we go to another British firm. So this is the Bentley. A rather sizable unit, I'm sure you'll agree. Let me come around here so I can get a better look at it. Ooh. There we are, look at that. It's an absolute behemoth, and you can almost guarantee it's got a massive engine in there. So it is a supercharged 4.4 litre, 0 to 60, 12 seconds, so it's not the fastest car going, but don't forget it's rather old as well. And top speed of 125 miles per hour. And just look at it, just absolutely wonderful. Let me just go around the side once more. Just absolutely wonderful. Massive steering wheel, which is obviously specific to its period. And I've just noticed, actually, I'm just going to zoom in, it's got tools in the passenger door, which is pretty cool. But doesn't really inspire confidence, just gives you the impression that it could break down at any moment, but never mind. So yes, there we are, the century of supercars, not done in order, but never mind. So yeah, let's see what else we have here. So this is rather special. This is the Aston Martin DB7 Zagato. So one of the styling changes you'll note first and foremost is the new grille. Well, I say new grille, this is obviously an older car, but the grille is different to the standard DB7. Also, you've got the traditional Zagato double bubble roof. So I'm not too sure if you can see that with the lighting, but let me come around, you might be able to see it better from the back. There we are. So as you can see, the roof sort of goes in like that, which is the Zagato trademark, and it looks absolutely fantastic. Now, Zagato is an Italian design house. They've done a few Aston Martins, and they've recently done for Vanquish Zagato, which looks absolutely superb. It's one of the best looking cars of this year, if you ask me. So this is for DB7 Zagato, one of the older models. As you can see, it's rather pricey indeed. It looks absolutely wonderful. Another thing I love about the Zagato models is hopefully you'll be able to see it. No, you can't because of a bloody reflection. That's really annoying. No, okay. Another great thing about the Zagato models is that on the leather seats, there's an actual Zagato Z on the seats. but you can't see it unfortunately, but the inside does look rather nice, but because of the lights in here it just gives massive reflections. But yes, there we have it, DB7 Zagato. Not many of these made. They're very limited edition, they're rather rare. This is the first time I've seen one in real life, and it looks absolutely wonderful. I just really love this roof. As I say, it sort of does that. It looks really nice, and the back is also different to the traditional back of the DB7. So let me just come around. As you can see, it's quite busy in here now. There are also the back of the DB7 Zagato is different to the standard one. But yes, that's really nice, really tasteful, really elegant, and it's Zagato making Aston Martin design even better, which you'd think is kind of impossible, but Zagato has done it, and they've also done it with the new Vanquish Zagato. So if you get a chance, give it a look, because the new one is just one of the most beautiful cars you will ever see. And I think that's not a bold claim. That is it. We are now on our way back. Couldn't quite stay for full day because we need to rush off, but it's been an absolutely fantastic day. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the footage comes out when it comes to edit, and I will definitely come back next year. It's been absolutely fantastic. So yes, a positive day overall. I got to see cars like the Ferrari F40 and the McLaren F1 for the first time, which is very exciting indeed. I was hoping to stay for the auction to see what the cars were going for, but I wasn't quite able to because I'm a little bit pressed for time, shall we say. So yes, we're going to make our way back to the car, and other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video, and give it a thumbs up of course if you liked it, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Until next time, see you soon guys.